Stream is live.
Got the faux fur on. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Okay, okay.
Trying to still dig out from all this snow we got.
Oh yeah, man, that was.
It
Bro,
was mainly ice, man. That's the problem. It's all ice on top.
bro, I don't even use a snow shovel no more. I use it like a flathead shovel type joint. I can't remember what they call, but I got one of them, like the metal joints.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
play.
That's all you can use with this. It's all
Yeah,
ice on top.
yeah, because if you don't snow, as soon as it come down, like as soon as it start to stop, uh, it's a wrap. You gonna like you literally breaking ice.
Yep.
Dang near like in the Arctic, you know what I'm saying? Doing that fishing where you gotta you gotta saw on the ground, saw onto the ice just to get to the fish.
Yeah. Yep. That's
That
how it
don't
is
go.
now.
Yeah, yeah, man. We wanted to talk about basically our enlistment stories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great topic. Would you like to start?
Yeah. I can go ahead.
Okay.
So what was this? So I joined what 96. So matter of fact, it was April '96, as I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But like at MEPS, I don't know how it was when you went. So like this was funny. So when I was at MEPS, there was this individual there, and the whole day, because like when you ship out, you're there like the whole day, or you get there early, and then eventually like you ship out. But there was this girl the day when we were there. Well, I didn't know it was a girl. I kept wondering, I'm like, man, is that a guy or a girl? Like all day, man. I just kept looking like, man, I just can't. But then so when you get ready to like swear in, they make all the guys take out their earrings. I don't know if you remember that. If they made y'all do that, but they made all the guys take out their earrings. And this
Hmm.
one guy would take his earrings out. He was like, what's your problem, man? Why aren't you gonna take your earrings out? He was like, if I gotta take my earrings out, he gotta take his earrings out. And he pointed at that person. I told you I kept wondering, like, was it a guy or girl? And then the individual was like, this he is a she. It was a girl the whole
That's
time.
crazy. Uh,
So after
uh,
that, yeah, he went in and took his earring out, went in and swore in.
he
But
was like, oh.
so like I flew out of like Pittsburgh, so they gave us like vouchers and stuff like the USO. Well, they gave us vouchers to eat. So when we was at the airport, we were eating. Like
Mhm.
everything was cool. Like until like boot camp for the Navy in Great Lakes, Illinois. So everything is cool. You get to the van. They got vans out there waiting for you. Vans pick you up, take you that ride from what was that Midway, Chicago Midway Airport. Everything was cool, man. Once you get off that little van ride, that's when things
Bro, I don't remember flying in. I want to say I took a train.
mm,
I want to say I took a train. I don't remember flying. I remember being on a train.
mm-hmm.
And my maps, I went to Baltimore because I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland,
Yeah.
like on the way to Ocean City. So that was the closest to MEPS. And I remember when I was at MEPS, I remember I went in to be a combat engineer. So what they were selling to me was, oh, you're gonna be building bridges. No, that's a whole different MOS. That's a
uh,
bridge crew member. That's a different job. It was like, and you might like clear some minefield and stuff. It might deal with some exposure. Oh, okay, cool. Well, you might. It's a small possibility.
yeah.
Well, I was a part of a rock clearance platoon, so that was basically my whole job.
Yeah.
I remember how desperate I was to leave my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
I remember not even thinking twice about going into the military. Like, cause I mean, even when I think of now and I look around at my hometown, man, like it wasn't nothing going on, like at all. Like it was, the jobs were the chicken factory. It used to be called Air Packs. This place, this it was like an air, I think they like bottled air or something like that, and oxygen
Uh-huh.
tanks and all that. And then like it was like that, and then the other popular job was working in nursing homes. But if you know about working in nursing homes, that's some physically demanding work.
Yeah.
And then the best job you could get out there was working at the post office, and that was in like the next town over. So you can only imagine how competitive that was. And it
Hmm.
wasn't even a big hub; it was a small hub, you know,
Hmm.
compared to the ones that you
So
see.
do you remember like so when we got do you remember your first night in boot camp?
My first,
So like for some reason, I don't know, we wound up being like the first like from Pittsburgh, we were like the first recruits that got there that that day. So we were kind of like waiting, for other people to come in. By the end of the night, you still got people coming in late, like late that night. People like from the West Coast still
mm-hmm,
coming in. Like that's the first time y'all all being in like that one room. Everyone was sleeping in the bunks and stuff like that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I remember when they came and turned the lights off, and people, you can hear people like sniffling, like they crying and stuff. Then you got some guys farting, some guys like making noises. Man, shut up, man, shut up! Like people all emotional. Then you get people like, man, f you. it was it was comical to say the least, man. But yeah, you get
What
people
was it?
sniffling.
What was it called? Like before you went to basic training,
What do you mean, like?
it was like a name to it. It wasn't in
So for us,
processing.
they called it the P days. So you spend
Mm,
like a day of doing processing, like you doing. We was that you're there at boot camp, but the first week you're doing that don't even count because you're just doing nothing but your paperwork. So they call
mm.
it the P days processing. So that's that first week, yeah, don't even count.
I
So
remember getting there super late, like
okay,
like early, like it was like 2 in the morning, and they woke us up at like 4.
yeah, you didn't get no sleep.
Like it was crazy. Yeah, I was still trying to figure out what the heck was going on.
Yeah,
Like it's just dark, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, you don't really
mhm,
know what's going on. You just taking directions, and that was before they really got like I guess like rude. You know what I mean? That was
mhm,
before the shenanigans really started, but it started that next day. Like people was passing out in line. Some people was shaking. Like I
mhm,
remember, bro. Like it was like, what the heck is going on here? Like I
yeah.
remember, I remember one guy. He stabbed himself in the leg to go home. And mind you, this is before basic even
Yeah,
started.
you starting. Yeah, it's not even that bad. Some people just can't be away. We had a guy, he was an African dude. He fell asleep standing up, and I
Hmm.
I could see him like wobbling.
Hmm.
I did this real loud, I was like, finish him. Like he just wound up falling out, and everybody like bust out, start laughing. Then the for us, they're not called drill sergeant, they call RDC.
Hmm.
So we call him RDC. He came over. Oh, that's enough. That's enough. But yeah, when you get there, like they basically like give you a box, and
Hmm.
basically the clothes that's on your back, you put in that box and you ship it home.
Yeah.
So like I don't know how they did with y'all. Like when they give us the box, they basically tell you to strip down to your. They call it the term in the Navy is skivvies. That's your
Hmm.
draw. So they
Hmm.
tell you like to strip down to your skivvies.
Hmm.
That same African guy, that man standing over there butt naked. I don't know if he didn't have draws or what, or he didn't or if he didn't understand, but he was just standing because you're just all in the line. Yeah, and they got the boxes, and he
Motherfucker
just
was
standing there,
naked.
but
Yeah, that's crazy. Yo. Yeah, they say get down to your brown thunders. That was, yeah, your brown thunders was them draws they give you, them underwear. They was underwear. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Some people,
they gave us those tidy whities.
yeah, I was
That's
brown.
horrible,
Yeah, we call them coochie cutters.
man. And then you know what's crazy like about boot camp? That was like the worst. That was the second. That was like I would say that's the second worst I ever had. Like as far as hygiene, because what they did with us, they would just turn the showers on, and basically you just had to keep walking, or somebody would bump into you from behind. You just had to like wash up and just keep moving.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
that
yeah,
little circle around, boom, come out.
yeah, 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 yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah,
It was crazy. We did something pretty similar too. Yeah.
yep. And then with the in the bathrooms, we call them heads when it comes like the toilet and stuff like that. It's called the head,
Oh, we
but
call them
there's no
the
doors. There was no doors. I don't know if they let y'all have doors. There's no doors when you
nah.
want to do number two. So
Yeah,
like people be lined up like just just yeah, just that's just crazy. You think about it now.
yeah, no privacy, nothing.
None,
Like
none.
I don't know what you're doing in there. You know what I'm saying? People poking themselves with a leg and stuff. You could imagine what people trying to do in a stall.
Uh,
Like,
then we
oh,
couldn't even use. They wouldn't let us use the urinals. The RDC was complaining there's too many pubes on the urinals.
it's crazy out here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember those days. I remember we'd do piss tests still in processing before we got to basic training. I
Okay.
remember I listened to them. I took them too literal, and I drunk that whole canteen. I tell you, because I thought it was gonna go faster. I didn't know it was gonna take so long. And my last name starts with an R, of course. So when I tell you, it got to a point where I had to grab my joint, like I had to hold it, like because it was gonna come, like it was crazy, and they wasn't trying to let you go to the bathroom.
I gotta listen to this crazy story. So one day somebody was acting up,
Hmm.
and you remember my Full Metal Jacket where they make everybody PT together. So
Hmm.
we went back to the I can't remember the name we called it, but we just say dorm for now. So we all and they pushed all the beds back, and we we were like in the middle. And the RDC said, "I'm gonna make it rain today since y'all acting up." He's like, "Close all the windows, push all the beds back." So he had us PT until like water condensation started dripping from the ceiling. He called that making it rain. So while we were in there was this dude. So he took a piss in his canteen, and how like this somebody else snitched went and told the RDC that dude peed in his canteen. So the RDC like stopped everybody from PT and came back there. Was like, did you pee in your thing? He's like, no, I didn't pee. Like, so he was like, well, take a sip from it. At first, he kept like going back and forth. He's like, man, quit going back and forth with me. Take a sip if you ain't peeing it. Look, hey Ryan, look, check this out. He had the canteen to his lips like this and was like, oh, I can't do it. I did. I peed in. He had it to his mouth. Was about to take a sip. Was like, I can't do it. I did it. I did it.
Hey, bro, that's wild.
Dude snitched on him, man. That was messed up. Cause and then
Nah,
that like they wouldn't let nobody use the bathroom either. So like, yeah, that was crazy, man. They had it like actually it was like raining in there, like and
yeah, people was pissing on themselves left and right. It was crazy. You know, what our drill sergeant said was, "We gonna make the wall sweat." That
okay.
was they said.
Uh-huh.
We gonna make the wall sweat.
We had this one old recruit, dude was like 30 something. Like he was like 1 year away from what our cutoff was. It was like 30. I think the cutoff might have been 33 and he was like 31 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Puerto Rican guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he when in the mornings when we wake up, his whole bed, it'd be like a huge stain on his bed. So they
Mm.
thought he was peeing the bed. Come to find out my man was just sweating. He was just at some he was just sweating that much, like his whole bed would just be stained, and they was like, yeah, he just sweat profusely, man.
He was that nervous out there.
He just said he always sweat like that. But
That's crazy. Hey, bro, what you got back there? Is that a 3D printer or something?
where?
Behind you on your left hand side,
Right here?
other side.
Where? Right here?
Yeah.
That's Ty Law. he got at his own vodka. I went to high school with him. He used to play for
Oh,
the
okay.
Patriots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
Nice,
yeah.
nice, nice. I thought that was like a 3D printer. You know, like the printer coils and stuff. I'm about
Uh,
to get one of them, matter of fact. But yeah,
yeah, those is cool, man. Yeah, those.
back to the topic though. My bad, my bad, my bad. But yeah,
Yeah, my
yeah.
man was profusely sweating all the time, man. So they wound up just like getting him new sheets like every day. He was getting like new sheets.
That's
But man,
crazy.
be first thing in the morning, man. You know, how you wake up like 4 in the morning. Be it
Yeah.
like they call it GQ. Everybody got to stand outside the bunk.
Mm-hmm.
Man, just be standing there, just sweating, coming down like 4 in the morning, just sweating.
It's crazy.
Man,
Yeah.
just
I
sweating.
think that's what we call it too, or like a toe to the line.
Yeah,
Toe to the line. Toe to line.
yeah.
So you better hop up real quick.
So my bunk mate, I remember my bunk mate. He was like this short, little guy from Texas, little white guy,
Mm-hmm.
but he was a nuke in the Navy. Nukes like they score like really, really high on the ASVAB. Like he scored like in the 90s. Like he had a real high number. So we call them nukes because more than likely they're gonna go work on like submarines and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
because of their high ASVAB score. And like, yeah, I used to pick on him all the time, but I wouldn't let anybody else like pick on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, thank you, man, for like if someone was messing with him, I step in." But then, like, he wound up getting like that pink eye. Like, I don't know if that happened when you was in boot camp, but like
Everything.
everybody started getting pink eye like in boot
Yeah.
camp. Like,
Yeah.
man, you got like 10 people pink eye in the unit, and he had it
Bro,
in both eyes. He wanted to get it in both eyes, man.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, pink eye.
And I used to be like, man, quit rubbing your eyes, man. He's like, I can't help it, man. I don't want to hear that, man. Stop rubbing your eyes, man.
Yo, we had well, we used to work out in basic training. It was called the pit, and it was basically like like those ball pins like they used to
Hmm.
have for kids, but it was
Yeah,
like pieces of rubber, and that's where we would work out. And you could only imagine like the debris, the dust, the dirt that would get caught up in there, the sweat,
yeah.
like. Yeah, we would have pink eye like every other week. Damn, if somebody got it. Then they're doing front back goals. Got. Gladly we ain't have long hair, but yeah,
Yeah.
crazy out there, man. Little pieces. It was like little pieces of tires they cut apart, like they
Hmm.
just put in a grinder. Like,
Oh,
oh, we gonna
so
put this up.
since you talked about the low hair, did y'all have anybody like with lice when you in boot camp?
Nah, man. How you gonna have lights with no hair?
No, like we had like when you get there, you know how they get ready to cut your hair, no
Mm-hmm.
matter how low your hair is.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was one guy in our division. They were like when he's going to cut his hair, he's like, "Ooh," kind of set him off to the side, and they had like shampoo his hair and stuff because he had lice.
Mm, dang. Nah, see, you know, we don't really deal with that one, but that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's wild. I mean, I hear you can kill it with hairspray. They don't like hairspray. Did the joint like the 80s?
And when you were in the boot camp, did y'all have it to where there was this there's this part like during the P days where you get all these shots. You just basically walk in this room. You got to walk through to get to the other room, and it's basically it's like maybe 4 or 6 people. Boom, you getting a shot every time you take a step. Somebody there, take you getting a shot, and
But
then
that
they make you
assembly line
go.
stuff is crazy.
It is funny. Now that I think about it, like when you get the, I don't know if they made y'all get the, what's that one shot in the butt?
In the butt, that's like still look like styrofoam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this
You gotta
one
rub
dude,
that joint out.
yeah, one dude was like climbing the wall, stuff like that. It didn't to me. It was just, it is what it is. But yeah, people in there yelling and screaming like,
Yeah, cause that needle
"It's a
huge,
shot."
bro. Like that joint
Yeah,
look
it is.
crazy.
Yeah, tough it up.
That joint look crazy, bro. And they not like just regularly sticky. They hit you in the bone, bro. Seem like you ain't got enough cushion back there. You hurt. Like you really hurt out there. You ain't got no muscle or nothing back there. Yeah, you hurt. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was crazy. And then every time you would deploy, you get all them all over again.
yeah. We had one dude go crazy. Like I think he might have been like a drug addict before he joined the military, and
Mm,
like him being in boot camp. Like yeah, they wound up like shipping him out. Man,
yeah.
we'd be like marching. He just started clapping all of a sudden. And one night he was like, fire in the head, fire in the head. And man, wasn't no fire in there. Man, just lose.
Just lost his marbles
Yeah.
out there, man.
Yeah. He was older too. He's one of those older guys too. So
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, man. It was wild and basic. It was wild.
Yeah.
I remember.
We had this one guy, we did him like on Full Metal Jacket when he got him with the soap. Remember how everybody hit him with the soap?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, we had
no.
this one dude. He's a skinny dude. He's from Texas. Dude had like so many missing teeth. It was crazy. And
Oof.
for him to be that young and he had all these missing teeth. And for some reason he had a smart mouth, man. So one night somebody got tape. Because like I said, he was real skinny and he was on the top bunk. And they just wrapped the tape in there so he couldn't get out the like bunk. He was
Wild. That's wild. Yo, that's wild. Man,
Yeah, man. Boot camp. It was an adventure, man. It was just funny, man. All the stuff
yeah,
that was going on.
yeah, you really learned about yourself for sure. You got tested mentally for sure. Like I remember, it was a guy that used to cry to his mom every night. Cry, mommy. Like he
Hmm.
cried, mommy, bro. Like, and he was not just crying; he was wailing. He was
Hmm.
wailing. It got to a point where people got so upset with him that he just went to the bathroom and would do it the whole night. Like it was bad. It was bad. He'd be fine all day, and then it just get them lights turned off.
Hmm.
It's like, yo, what's going on? What the lights have to do with this? Like, you've been fine all day, man.
We had one dude. When the lights went out, he would do sit ups in his sleep. He said it came from when he was abused as a kid, but yeah, he'd be in there like doing like crunches in his sleep.
That is nuts.
And when he was he was my roommate, we call it A school. I don't know what y'all call it after boot camp where you learn your job. So it was three of us in the room, and I remember that he did sit ups in his sleep. So I made sure to take the single bed. So remember the African dude I told you that fell asleep. So them two like were in the same bunk, and he would be like, crush the African dude in the thing like he'd be pissed. My man being there, like,
Bed rocking. And
yeah.
it's like this, trying to
If
sleep.
you if you just touch him, like if you touched him, he would just stop. He would stop. Like yeah, it was yeah. If you
Wow.
just touched him, he was just the middle. He just stopped. Like
I hope he had abs, man. You gotta have like a six pack or
he
something.
looked just
It's
like
crazy.
honestly, straight. He looked like Popeye the Sailor Man. Like he had that face looking like he was a little short dude.
That's bro. Like who he look like Popeye said. I've never heard anybody say that before.
Yeah, man, we got some
That's
characters, man.
that's an interesting person to look like. It's like saying somebody look like Mickey. Like what?
Yeah, boot camp was that. I had some fun, man. It was you meet some people, had some funny experiences, but yeah, boot camp was cool, man.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, man, I didn't like running.
Hmm.
I couldn't stand running, but I wanted to max the PT test. So after a while, I would just be working out in the bathrooms at night. Like I'd just be working out like for a good hour.
Hmm.
And I had bad knees too when I got in. So I didn't think I was gonna make it. And I went to I got I went to basic in Fort Leonard Wood. So
Missouri, right? That's Missouri.
yeah, so they got big hills over there. They call them roller coasters. That's how steep these hills are. And that's what we ran every day. And when I tell you, probably for the rest of my life, if I'm running incline, I do not slow down. I speed up.
Hmm.
Like it's the craziest thing. Like you know what I'm saying? That's like the most physically strenuous thing you can do while you're running is running uphill. I'd
Yeah.
have no problem because of doing that so much.
So how did y'all do y'all running in boot camp? Was it just individual, based upon the individual or the unit?
It was always unit. It was
Okay.
together. It
Yeah.
was always together. And then or no, actually it wasn't always together. And then it would be like it would be you run at your own pace too. So and then you kind of were done. You just got done early. You still had to be around, but you just got done early. And then if you were like the first one, you get bragging rights. Like
Mhm.
you'll start to, make bets on you, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Oh, that was gonna win. And then yeah, and then you kind of had a little bit less of a hard time if you would have stood. You know what I mean? But that's how it was. We did like a lot of like yeah, we would do like back and forth. We would have like a halfway point somewhere, and then we circle and go back. We did that a lot. And then you have a drill sergeant at each end. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because I didn't know how to run. It's like it was I didn't know how to distance run because it's excruciating if you got bad knees or anything. I
Yeah.
already knew getting in. I had terrible knees, and that was like the scariest thing for me. Like, how am I gonna run? I can't run. How am I gonna fake this? And so no, what a drill sergeant said, just kick yourself in the ass. That's all you got to do is kick yourself in the ass. Just keep doing that. And sure enough, I did that. It got me through.
Yeah.
Sure enough, it got me through.
Do a ton of marching.
Bro, the rucks was crazy. Like we did our last ruck was like 16, 20 miles.
Hmm.
I've never done anything like that before. And we had the full ruck with us because we're combat oriented jobs, so we gotta have everything on us. We gotta be able to do that stuff. And I tell you, it felt like we was marching forever, bro. Like you chafing so bad that you don't even feel it no more, bro. Like you numb.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. You raw down that joint. You know what I'm saying? When you look later, I
Uh,
definitely had some brown thunders. Yeah, it's the worst thing to rock in. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, bro. Yeah, I sure enough got some Vaseline. Use
yeah.
that after a while. I remember at the end of close to the end of basic training, we call them FTX, field training exercise.
Hmm.
I found out somebody got poison ivy and they got to like they got to go to sick call until graduation and they still graduated because it was like late enough. They didn't have to get sent back.
Okay.
But I got a little bit of I messed in a little bit of some poison ivy just on my hand.
Hmm.
Then I ended up scratching my leg and forgot about it.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, I basically set myself up so bad to the point that because then it was somebody else that got it and they sent them home. I was like, well, shit, I don't want to get sent home. I gotta
Hmm.
graduate. So I had to thug it out, bro. So I got some cream from somebody that had some. That one the guy that did end up staying, he gave me some of his cream. That shit didn't work. And then and then we was in our dress uniforms, and those pants are like wool or something like that. Something
Yeah.
stupid, some crazy
Polyester.
material. Yeah, that shit was rubbing like crazy, bro. Like I'm trying to practice in these ceremonies and stuff. It's getting bad. Again, I can't. You can't even see the back of your thighs, so it's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Man, I waited until I got home. I waited until I got home, graduated and everything. Got home on break. Man, I went there, told the nurses and stuff about what happened, or about I'm itching on the back of my leg. I think it's poison ivy. Why they had me getting the gown, and I remember I was on my side, and the nurse picked that joint up. She said, "Oh my god!" The old back of my leg was like swollen, red, like it was bad, bro. I never get. I actually break out on the back of my thigh to this day, like every once in randomly in that same exact spot. Nothing crazy like what happened then, but every time, bro, it's kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, and I never forget it. And then on my hand, like where I had it, it was like in between my hand for like years. It stayed there. it stayed there. So I was always reminded of this stupid choice that I made.
The good old days, man. Boot camp. How long is y'all boot camp?
It's 16 weeks, and then whatever your job training is after that. You know,
Yeah,
it just depends on your job. Like we called it AIT.
yeah.
Um,
So our boot camp was only 2 months. 2 months plus that extra week for the P days, and we call, like I said, you call it a NIT, whatever, and we
AIT.
it's AIT. We call it A school. Then some people have a C school, but yeah, my A school depending. My A school was only 2 months. It was in Mississippi.
Nice. Mine was all in the same place.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we
some
know a couple.
people there is A schools up there in Great Lakes. So
Mhm.
basically, it's like right across the street from where basic training is. But yeah, no, they sent me down to Meridian, Mississippi, man.
Mm.
that was that was a culture shock, but Mississippi actually wasn't that bad.
Mm.
It actually wasn't that bad, and that's like I said, this was like in the '90s.
I
But
remember. I remember we was like in basic training. We were like in the classroom sitting on the floor because we never sat in chairs.
mm,
And I was never flexible enough to sit crisscross. But whatever, that's beyond the point. So I'll be out there joint uncomfortable, like
yeah,
lower back on fire, hips on fire. Anyway, I remember the drill sergeant said, by show of hands, who thought they was gonna be building bridges? Everybody raised their hand, bro. He was like, he started like snickering a little bit. Y'all ain't building no bridges. Y'all clearing minefields. I was like, what? Like what? What did I get myself into, man? That was
uh-huh.
like that was like the culture shock for me, for real. It's like, oh, man, it's some bullshit. I done got duped, hoodwinked, bamboozled.
Uh-huh.
Like looking like a fool, like a clown. I'm like, man, I ain't signed up because the whole idea for me was, and the game plan was because one of my father figures, he was in the military. He was like, hey man, whatever you do, just don't do infantry, you good. You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing risky. Being a combat engineer, it's a little more risky than being infantry. So I ended
Yeah.
up doing something worse than what I was trying to avoid. And my score was so low that they only offered me like a cook, infantry, and a combat engineer. Like it was like nothing else. Like this the three. So I was like, okay, I'll just go with the combat engineer. I don't. It seems cool. Why not? We'll be building bridges. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do something
Mhm.
smart. I ain't built. I ain't built not one bridge. I ain't built not a bridge. Learn how to blow them up.
Yeah.
Learn how to build no bridges. Demolition breaching, all that good stuff, but never
Mhm.
built a bridge. We actually watched somebody else build a bridge. Actually, we watched another unit, the actual bridge crew members,
uh-huh.
for a training exercise. Yeah, we had to pull security. It's crazy. It's
I
like,
didn't even have no experience like that. Like everything, like my recruiter said, was like actually like it worked. It panned out. Like he told me I had a chance to get stationed back home at some point.
mm-hmm.
That happened. He told me like my job. I'll be working in the office. You know, that happened. So like, yeah. I mean, I hear people tell like crazy stories, but I didn't have that experience. Like, I guess my recruiter was just straight up with
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Navy was different. Air Force was different. Like the vibes was different. Like they weren't trying to recruit you. They were like super chill. They were nonchalant. Like, yeah, whatever, man. You ain't got just go ahead looking right. Get up out my office. Like you ain't, Army recruiter go out their way. They'll go to your house. They'll buy you some food. They'll do like a You know what I'm saying? Like they'll do like a mock PT test with you just to try to get you in shape, but nothing, pass to get in. Like
Yeah,
whatever,
we didn't do
man.
none of that either. Like I never had to do no mock PT before I
Yeah,
joined. Yeah, we would do those. We would have like meetings and stuff every now and then, but other than that, yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I played sports when I was in high school, but then when I graduated, I started working at Dairy Queen. Like around the time that summer after I graduated, I started working at Dairy Queen. And this was the Dairy Queen that didn't just have ice cream; it made food too. And I tell you, I got fat, and I was flabby, bro. To the point when we did that mock PT test, I couldn't even finish, bro. And it wasn't even a mile; it was like a mile. I couldn't even finish it, bro. It was bad. It was bad. Like it was. He was, and then he was like, he's like, dang, I thought you was athletic. You said you did this, that, that. It's like, yeah, I did. He's like disappointed. I was like, I'm disappointed in myself too,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, it was wild. Then I maxed it out, but closer to the end of basics, so it turned out all right. No, yeah,
yeah. That's what's up.
yeah. But hey, man, next time we meet up, we should talk about our when we how we got out.
Yeah, definitely, man. We can do that.
Yeah, that'd be
Today we talk about the beginning. Damn, we could talk about the end.
yeah. That's what I named this. I said, "What's your enlistment story?"
Okay.
And whoever's watching this and made it to the end, God bless you for one. Um, put in the chat your enlistment story. I mean, you're probably gonna have a long time typing that, so I don't know. Try to summarize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and maybe if you want to be featured in another video, in another live stream, let us know. You know, especially be humble. I mean, that's his whole channel right there. Is it's about interviewing other veterans. So
Yeah.
shout out to Be Humble and the Be Humble channel. Make sure y'all check that out. Check me out too. I'm teaching y'all about y'all benefits.
Yeah.
Something very important, of course.
Definitely, definitely.
and with the no BS answers. Not no how they be the benefits folks and people at like the the Department of Labor and stuff like that. They'll give you like the sugar coated stuff and yeah, you can apply for it. I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, you ain't gonna get that. You waste your time. Like you can apply for it if you want. You can entertain it, but
Mhm.
the likelihood. mm, yeah, but yeah, man, definitely shout out to you. Thanks for getting on the call again. It's
Yeah,
always
no
good to
problem.
chop it up with another veteran. Some candid conversations. Yeah, yeah, man. We'll get up soon. Probably the next couple of weeks we'll finish that out. Get that part two going. Yeah, man. Have a great rest of your week though.
Right.
All right. Take it easy, y'all. We out.